WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, often tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Here we have the Glenallachie single malt undergoes a visual refresh. A new design! Look at this, the 10, the 12, the 15, and the 18. All right, so this, for those of you that don't know, this is how it used to look. All right, so I have the 15-year-old here. I'm going to put this over here. So the 10-year-old over here is how they used to look. So you have a little bit of a feeling for what was and what is. Now, on the website, theglenallachie.com, there's actually a press release, which I'm going to refer to at the very beginning. All right, so it says here, acclaimed Scotch whiskey brand unveils new look for its award-winning portfolio. That was 20th of February 20th, 2024. All right, the leading Scotch whiskey distillery, the Glenallachie, reveals a rejuvenated look for its single malt brand, including a new logo and packaging. To be very honest, I didn't even recognize the new logo until I was reading this. This is the old logo. This is the new logo. Look at that. There's much difference. Yay. All right. So we actually have a circle now, and we have information. And on that information is something they want to talk about. Whiskey in good hands. That's their slogan now. So, and the thing that I really like, I have to admit that is the highlight for me, is if you look at this, the Glenallachie, that's like the font, the way the letters are made. That was the Fred Flintstone look. It's gone. So it's not gone totally, but it's gone, and I like that. Glenallachie used to actually stress the fact that they are in the Valley of the Stones, in the Valley of the Allachie, which would be the stones and the boulders and so on. No longer, yay! So that's that. So it says, spearheaded by legendary whiskey maker of 52 years, who else could it be? Billy Walker. The independent Speyside brand producer is renowned for its spirit quality and cask innovation. The revamped visual identity, I'm still reading here, developed by Scottish design agency Threebrand, is said to represent the brand's evolution. And when was the first core range released? Does anyone remember? 2018. 6 years ago. Billy Walker now has Glenallachie longer than he had Glenglassaugh, and almost as long as he had Glendronach. Ouch. Let's see what's going to happen there. All right. So, and they have actually had year-on-year sales growth ever since. Even during COVID? Even during the trade war with the UK and America with the tariffs on single malt? All right, good. I'm not judging here. Now, the slanted design element, inspired by the unique shape of the distillery's gable and the brand's upward trajectory, adds individuality, intrigue, and visual appeal to the pack. That is marketing fluff, but that's all right. All right, it's interesting that they did not put a picture of the distillery in the press release. You can't see the gable of the roof anywhere. Come on, people, think about it. All right, I've been there. I've been at the distillery. It's 6 years ago, but maybe 5, but still, it was 2017. And was it 2017? 2019. It was 2019, so 5 years ago. I don't remember the roof. Now, it says here, and this is also very interesting for me at least, having exclusively worked with UK-based suppliers for all its packaging supplies to reduce its carbon footprint, materials used include sustainably sourced uncoated paper stock. Is that uncoated? I don't know. Luxurious black and gold foils, and a bespoke embossed bottle. Now, let's talk about that bottle for a second. So this is the old bottle here. So this is the bespoke embossed bottle, all right? So first of all, the old one didn't have any embossing on it. Let's go over here. I might have missed something, but there's no embossing on this either. Embossing is that there's a special mold for the the bottles. It's exactly the same bottle, people. There's no difference. It's the same. Um, all right. Now, the thing that I have is I'm going to really hammer this home, all right? So, working exclusively with UK based suppliers. Are you telling me that this bottle was made in the UK? Now, the packaging, this might have been made in the UK. I'm sorry, the new packaging might have been made in the UK here. But I'm not sure if the pulp for the trees came from the UK. All right, just to show my purpose, this is the old bottle here of the 10-year-old, and this is the new bottle. All right, so I have no problem with using the same bottle again. I have a problem of them actually saying this is a unique feature of the new design. Do you get my point? I'm just trying to hammer home some of these things that are just kind of BS in the marketing world. All right, and the update coincides with renewed brand messaging underpinned by the tagline, Whiskey in Good Hands, which champions the expert team behind the brand, including Billy Walker here. All right, so despite the new exterior, the award-winning whiskey, which fans have become accustomed to, will remain unchanged. I will test that as well. I'm going to compare the two 15s with each other, with the core offering continuing to include the 10, the 12, the 15, and the 18-year-old bottlings. In order to streamline the portfolio, I thought this was fascinating. The various limited edition series, I think it was the year 2019, Glenallachie actually released 288 different bottlings in 1 year. That's almost one every other day. Crazy, 288 new bottlings in 1 year. It says here, in order to streamline the portfolio, the various limited edition series will now all fall under one umbrella range called the Wood Collection, and with the first editions due to be unveiled next month. All right, that's all I wanted to talk about here. All right, so in November of 2023, the Scotch Whisky Distillery announced its successful SIETE grant application, enabling the installation of a mechanical vapor recompression technology that will slash energy use at the distillery in half, with the remaining being supplied renewably by solar panels, which will put on new warehouses, which they're also going to build through a grant. So they actually set up the distillery fairly well for the future. I will be doing a separate video about the batch 10 and 11, all right? So just have to put them away. So that's a separate video altogether where I just compare that and not talk about marketing and brands and blah, blah, blah. Because we expect batch variations. They have a batch 10, batch 11. I will not do a video about the 12 because I don't have the old one, and I think I've already have a video, at least in German, on the 12-year-old Glenallachie. I might be doing a video about the 18. I don't know. By the way, the prices over here in Germany are around. Actually, I'm on the lower price here. This is 150. This is now 70. The 12-year-old was 55 euros, and the batch 11 of Glenallachie 10 cask strength was about 70 euros. All right, so you can get the 10-year-old or the cask strength. And that's always the question of what should we do. I'm going to do something a little different on purpose here because I'm going to have to match and see. All right, so I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put the new one on that side and the old one here. So if I do it this way, the line actually continues and goes up and looks nice. If I do it this way, my OCD, which I don't have much of, it actually has a little break in there, and I didn't like that. That's why I did that way. All right, to be honest, let's talk very briefly once again about bottle design, about label design. Here we had two labels. Now they just have one, which is easier to also to do, but I like this label better. There's all this room here. There's nothing there. That's just like wasted real estate for me. The 15 is a little bit gold, and it's very, very light blue instead. On the back of the bottle, also here, they went for the barcode. They went sideways with it. No, they did not with this. Oh, okay, they didn't with this one. Here they put it sideways, but not there. Well, good job, Jason. This regulatory information is going to get more and more over time. it's not something Glenallachie has to can really influence that much. Oh, it's actually from Belgium, French. Okay. So distilled, matured, and bottled in Scotland. They have to have the Scottish address on it. They have to have the European address on it, theglenallachie.com. Please drink responsibly. And yeah. So this I like better, but hey, that's all right. So that's the way it goes, and that's the way it is. All right. Feels like the same type of paper here. Same design at the bottom, same type of box. It's just a different print. So what they did here, why do I feel something? Okay. So they the box actually, you can feel there's a haptic, and you can feel this, you can feel that. Here we had no, it was all just, no, here you could feel this as well, which I don't care about. So, yeah. So this was printed a little bit of indentation here. So, all right. Yeah, who cares? I don't. Really, I don't. All right. So, 46%, both of these. What also very much surprised me, I'm just talking about I'm comparing the old versus the new on purpose here. What happens with a rebranding is on both of these we have tasting notes. And I'd like to read both of these with the tasting notes on there just to show you the difference. Now, I have a very unfair comparison. They're both Glenallachie 15. This is a 2021 bottling, was that right? Or no, it was 23. So it was on the side here. Where was it? Here we go. So, and it says here 21. So this actually was a 21 bottling, all right? So this has been in my shelf 3 years. It hasn't been open for 3 years, but it's been open for maybe a year. And so we have a lot of airspace in here. I've opened it up numerous times to pour drams and to fill up samples and so on. So this has had time in the bottle. You notice I'm avoiding the word oxidation, all right? So this I just opened last week, sent out some drams. I just did my video in German, now in English. So this has very, very little time here to actually open up, as we like to say. So that's the first part here. Now the second part is the notes actually on the boxes are totally different. It says here color, we have sunset bronze. Here we have no color. They just didn't even put a color on it. It's like, okay, good, you can see the color. We don't need to tell you the name of the color. But on the nose, it says overflowing with raisins, butterscotch, and sweet spices, which is a great nosing description. Over here, it says dark cherries, no mention of cherries whatsoever, golden syrup, that's like a maple syrup without the maple, and sweet spices in the forefront, with hints of toffee, glazed figs, and hazelnuts. It's not even the same whiskey. All right, at least from the description. They didn't use the word raisin, doesn't even happen on that page over there. Yeah, butterscotch, yes, sweet spices, maybe. But hey, the first thing you're talking about, overflowing with raisins, and not here. So they, the team of Glenallachie, apparently, I'm going to use that word here, have noticed a difference in the way their whiskey tastes compared to the old packaging. All right, and on the taste, it says here, the rainbow of sweet spices. Great picture, bad description. Raisins, again, with butterscotch, develops to banana, orange peel, and dark chocolate, which is nice. Over here, it says, our heather honey, no honey at all in here, but here we have heather honey. Hallmark, alongside with orange peel, yay, cocoa, yay, ginger. Here we have ginger. Here we had no mention of that. With caramelized brown sugar on the finish. And also brown sugar is not mentioned over here. We had dark chocolate. The word bananas here, no banana there. If I had not known that I am comparing the same whiskey from the description, I would have thought I had two different whiskeys in my glass. They're both the Glenallachie 15. This, by the way, over here in Germany, as I mentioned, is more around 74 at the moment. I paid, this, the new one, 74. I did the bottle share for $69.90. This was 59.90. So it's gone up between 10 and 15 euros just in the last 2 to 3 years. Inflation, that's the way that is. All right, I'm always going to go from the old to the new. All right, so on the nose, I like the nose. I get dark chocolate. I get raisins. I get wood, a lot of wood. The alcohol is great. Nice. I go over here, the new one. This is lighter. I actually get a tiny little bit of like an acetone, like that model glue. Some people say a bourbon has it. All right. So if you go to Whiskey Base, and this is going to be our Whiskey Base 248393, and there you will actually have that this is only sherry, Oloroso sherry, Pedro Jimenez hogsheads, as well as puncheons. And I get a little bit, I don't get raisins. I get the new type of sherry casks that I don't prefer. I'm sorry. And I call them syrup sherry casks. Why? Well, in the old days, we used to actually have a sherry cask that was seasoned for 48 months, maybe even 60 months, so 4 to 5 years. They passed a law in Spain that said a seasoned cask has to be, is it 18 or 24 months max? I think it's 18. And many of these things actually don't have sherry that will ever be used as sherry, but rather it's just from the right grape and it's very, very highly concentrated, almost like a syrup type of liquid. They put in the cask and it is. I can't use the word pressurized, I can't use the word forced, and it is motivated to go into the wood of the casks. All right, and then those casks are sent to Scotland, and we use them here. Don't forget, this is 15-year-old juice as well as this. Billy Walker has the distillery now for 6 years. So the majority of the life of these casks were just old distillery wood, which means maybe third, fourth, or fourth fill ex-bourbon hogsheads and bourbon barrels. And yeah, only in the last 6 years has Billy Walker been able to put his fingerprint on these and change them. Actually, this is a tad darker, the new one, than this. I don't know if you can see this or not. It's just to have to do with the amount of liquid. It really is a tad bit darker. All right, so let's try this. I really used to love the 15-year-old. There is a lot of sherry influence here, but I still get the distillery character. For me, Glenallachie has always something of a um, sour grapefruit moment and a little bit of a mineral type of moment going on. A little bit limestone, a little bit mineral. It's got a very a high viscosity. It coats your mouth. I really enjoy it for 60 euros back then. A 15-year-old product with that sherry bomb moment going on. It was tough to beat. All right, so I used to say, you couldn't beat the 15-year-old Glenallachie. This was 75 euros. This was 60 euros. What do I tend to gravitate towards? Of course, this. It was cheaper, and it was of similar, if not even better quality sometimes. All right, so, and now we have this, which is still a little bit cheaper. 75 euros versus about 78. Let's make sure I'm saying the truth here. Glenallachie 15. The prices are changing so much that I really don't keep up to it. That's exactly what I said. All right, good. So anywhere from 75 to 79 euros is what you pay for the Glenallachie 15 Revival. Here you pay anywhere from the lowest price I see is here 69 and the highest is 79. So All right, so, and on the nose, as I said, let's do the palate. It is a very, very different whiskey for me. Does it have to deal with the amount of airtime this has had in the bottle? I'm going to say no, because even the tasting notes on the box are different. They're using different casks than they used to use. There's more, at least 2 years more of time where Billy Walker has been able to influence this whiskey. Um, and there's definitely more sweetness here. There's more brown sugar. There's more raisin here, but there's more sweetness. There's more brown sugar towards the end. There's that plastic type of sherry syrup moment and more at the beginning. And what I really get here that I don't get here at all is ginger. That ginger, a little bit of the bite of the ginger spice. Fascinating. Really, really fascinating how much of a, I'm going to use that word here, flavor drift by Glenallachie is evident. And not just in my personal opinion, but according to the tasting notes as well, which more or less are fairly accurate. All right, so well done there on Team Glenallachie. So Whiskey in Good Hands is a interesting model because it does not imply, and that's what I'm going to really also mention here, that we're making good whiskey, but rather we're taking care of good whiskey. All right, and so even back when Billy Walker took over Glenallachie, most of the product that he actually sold, he never made. He had not been there long enough to actually make the whiskey he was selling. The 12-year-old, the 15-year-old, the 18-year-old, the 21-year-old. And the same thing at the moment is with Glenallachie. Pernod Ricard made all the whiskey that he is now selling. They do have very few brands of the peated whiskey that they've done themselves, very young, almost 5 years of age, and so on. And I'm looking forward to more of that, yay. But of this range, the 10, the 12, the 15, the 18, it's going to be a while before Glenallachie will actually have some whiskey that they, under the watchful eye of Billy Walker, actually made and produced there. I would have given this back then a B to B plus for taste. I will give this a C plus. Value for money, C. Back then for 60 euros, a C plus. All right. Show me another 15-year-old sherry bomb whiskey from Scotland, 46% non-chilled filtered, no color added, an integrity. Oh, I'm going to read something in a second. An integrity malt that is actually at that price point. So the word integrity malt, Ralphie, thank you very much. And it says here on our whiskey here, we proudly present the Glenallachie 15-year-old with integrity at a high strength of 46% ABV. Not really sure about high strength, that's okay. Without added coloring or chill filtration, enabling its true charm to shine through. They used to say, and to retain this rich, full flavor, we bottled it at a higher alcohol by volume. Billy proudly puts his name on every single one of these bottles in their pursuit of excellence. He and his team, un be force, leave no stone unturned. Good. So it doesn't even say here that it's non-chill filtered, and in the back it didn't. On the front it does say here, natural color, non-chilled filtered here. And from the Valley of the Rocks. So that's what they used to always say here. Let's put this on here real quick. From the Valley of the Rocks. And they totally now have gone away from that thing. Good. At the beginning, which I kind of criticize sometimes, and I might do it again, you have in your hands a bottle of Glenallachie Speyside single malt. Talking of which, the key to this superb whiskey is dedication. Under the guidance of master distiller Billy Walker, a process of slow fermentation, precise distillation, and long maturation in the finest casks from around the world delivers this fantastic single malt as natural as the rocky place it hails from. Billy Walker had nothing to do with the fermentation, had nothing to do with the distillation of this whiskey. And I've always criticized that. Now they got rid of that, yay, and put something else on there. That's good. So I think, even though a lot of this is still a little bit of marketing flannel, I think in general, the text actually on the box is more pertinent to what the whiskey is and how it was made. Still, I like this design better. But it's growing on me slowly but surely, this lighter blue than that. So the 10, just so we see this again, the 12, royal purple, I guess, and the red really doesn't do it for me. This does not convey any influence of age, of prestige. It's like, oh, it's blood red. It's like, it's like a bad Valentine's card. All right, now maybe in China, or Asia, that's going to be the seller that they want, but still, it's almost like, not really my color choice there. But that's just me. All right, so I've given my review. My question of the day is, which design do you like better, old or new, and why? All right, this has a little bit of a glare. This never does. What do you think about Glenallachie at the moment? Are you really looking forward to new products that are all now under the umbrella of the wood series? I must admit, the logo is much better now. All right, so I like that instead of the GA. And I definitely like it that they got rid of Fred Flintstone here. So that's my opinion. What's your opinion? Write it down in the comments. Would love to read it. Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, telling others, and see you real soon. Whiskey Jason here. Bye-bye.